Hey guys, welcome to Hammerpaints. Um, Sorry GB, it's been a few days since I said I'd reply to your post on your Folsham Group, Jaeger's company. This is like the third time I've tried to record this, and yeah. But anyway, let's get to it. The list that you built, mate, it's pretty well spot on. You're in the right direction. There's a few things I looked at in your list that were I was thinking instead of, well, we'll get to it in a minute, but number one, your headquarters is spot on. That's what you sort of want to look for. Um, you're taking two infantry sections of your Fallschirmjägers here, and in your headquarters you're taking two Shreks. You're upgrading them to Panzerfaust teams. That's spot on. You can filter these two Panzer Shrek teams into these two infantry platoons here. So that's excellent. Oh, and by the way, going Fearless Veteran for your Fallschirmjägers is a good way. The AirSat Fallschirmjägers is not they're quite fun to play too. The train means at least you can get a little bit of support with some armor. You got the points there. Fearless is good; they never run away. But I always like the veteran Fallschirmjägers anyway. So yeah, number one, spot on with your command. So you've upgraded your commands here to be Panzerfaust SMG teams. That's perfect. You've taken your two Shreks, which is perfect to filter out into your two Fallschirmjäger platoons. So that's spot on. Number two, you've taken two infantry platoons of Fallschirmjägers, which is down here. Spot on. You've upgraded the command to an SMG Panzerfaust team, and that's where I'd leave it. I wouldn't go and upgrade them all to have Panzerfausts and stuff like that. It's not worth the points, as you saw how many points it actually costs to do that. So that's spot on. You're definitely on the right track there. As for a third infantry platoon, you're spot on there too with taking. You can either take a full company if you want at 17. I think you said 1750 was what you're playing. Sometimes I take a full company at that there, but a half company or just two squads, which gives you 6 in your command base for 185 points, is pretty spot on. And you upgrade, once again, you've upgraded your command there to the SMG. That's pretty good. Another option you could go down is over here in the infantry section. You can either take a Grenadier, you can take a Panzer Grenadier platoon, which is SS, a Grenadier platoon, which is here, and a security section. Now I looked at the at 113 here. We'll have a quick squiz. Let me have a look. Here we go. Okay, so what have we got here? Here we have the Panzer Grenadier platoon, which are SS, which are Fearless Veteran, which is great. It keeps all your motivation and your skill down to the same as what the rest of you guys are. You are looking to take Vanderhyde, so you don't worry about them going under the Allied rule at all, but they'll still follow the motivation and skill of what they are, regardless of Vanderhyde or not. So if they're say they're Hermann Goring, which you can't get, but just for saying, they're usually Hermann Goring are usually reluctant trained. That particular squad would be, or platoon would be, reluctant trained, but they would follow the Allied rules. So they don't lose them, no matter what, they don't lose their motivation and skill there. But the good thing about this Panzer team here, this Panzer Grenadier team, is 220 points. It could be it's only 6 figures. It's a lot dearer than taking, say, 6 Fallschirmjägers. But the 6 Fallschirmjägers have got rifle MGs. These guys are all MG teams. So straight up, you've got a heap of firepower. You have a solid little unit you can stick on an objective somewhere. And you'd upgrade them as well to have Faust. So that's one option you could go down. The other option you could go down is, which I would probably be looking at to get yourself some points back, mate, is go down the Grenadier platoon. Just grab yourself a filthy old Grenadiers platoon. And the good thing about the Grenadier platoon, I'll just pull it up. 39 is here they are here. They're cheap as chips. They're cheap as chips, these Grenadier platoons, and the beauty about them is they're confident vets, which is also a good like a good motivation. That's great, mate. They're really hard to dig out. They motivate fairly well. You know, they're motivating on 4+s. To dig them out and to hit them, you need straight out. You need a 3+, and then with all your modifiers, they become, you know, rather hard to hit. So that's really good, and they're 155 points for your rifle MGs, which is the same as your Fallschirmjägers. But the beauty about the Grenadier platoon is, mate, you can upgrade your command to a Panzerfaust SMG team, which I would do for 10 points, and then I would for 25 points. You've already just, I'll tell you about how you can save yourself 20 points in a minute too. So upgrade him and take a Shrek team, and that there covers yourself. You'll have 2 Fallschirmjäger platoons with some Shreks, then you'll have one of these Grenadier platoons with a Shrek, and this, you could sit this on an objective. This is going to be a tough cookie to cut, to bite into as well, and it's a tough little nut to crack, that one. So that's definitely an option. That's something that I'm going to probably look at in the future myself. I looked at that and I've never really played with a Grenadier platoon before in a Fallschirmjägers, but that's a brilliant little squad there. It's cheap, it's hard hitting, it's got just as much anti-tank assets as the Fallschirmjägers, and you can really sit them back somewhere holding an objective or holding a flank or something if you're the attacker and you need your Fallschirmjägers to do some work. So that's that. Then what you did is you went and you're taking some mortars. Perfect, you need mortars. With the mortars there, mate, I suggest don't worry about taking your upgrading that section. I wouldn't upgrade that to a Panzerfaust. Save yourself the 10 points. They sort of sit 9 times out of 10. You sit them back on the board a bit, and if they're getting assaulted by something, then you're in a bit of trouble, and things are going to go downhill from there anyway. Not always, but 9 times out of 10, that's what's happened. So there's no point, and they're a man-pack gun team, so they can't actually assault nothing. They have to be assaulted for the anti-tank asset to work, which can be good, but 9 times out of 10, people will just sit off with a tank somewhere and just machine gun the hell out of you. So that's the problem. So that's good. You've taken machine guns. Perfect. I wouldn't upgrade them either to having anti-tank assets with Panzerfaust and stuff. You're going to filter them out. They make combat attachments. You filter them out into your infantry squads. So I wouldn't worry about that. So you probably filter them out into your 2 Fallschirmjäger platoons. Really give them some firepower there. Next thing, you was looking at taking some 88s down here. Personally, I wouldn't take the 88s. The 88s are great for a fun game. They look menacing on the table. They're a great model. But effectiveness, they're cheap as hell, I understand that. But for effectiveness of their use, I think they're a waste of points, because they're a heavy gun team. They can't get their concealments and stuff from dug in and gone to ground and all that sort of stuff. That doesn't apply. They're just too big. So they're the first thing people are going to pick off. You've got an anti-tank 13 out of them, which is quite insane to put down in like some tank lanes and stuff. But it'll be the first thing that gets picked off, because it'll be the first thing people can actually hit easily. And with their training, and I think they're like only trained or something like that, so they'll get hit easy. So that I wouldn't take them. I would keep your points in your purse for those and spend them somewhere else. I do agree though, you do need anti-aircraft, so I would take just a Fallschirmjäger anti-aircraft gun platoon. I know that probably means that you probably don't have them, and you probably have to buy a little blister pack of them, but they're really good, man. They you can cut infantry down with them like friggin' no tomorrow. Half tracks and all that sort of crap won't go out in front of them, and also they'll give you that anti-tank, anti-aircraft asset, so that's good. As for your other anti-tank assets, you're saying the Fallschirmjägers, Pack 40s, I'd take them. You definitely need them. I wouldn't upgrade them either, man. They've got, if you look in your rules and stuff, they've got like guns can fight in assaults. They can shoot in assaults. Have a look at the rule. I won't go through the rules now, but so look at that rule, and they can also you could comf group them, and you could split them up if you wanted to, and put them, two sides of the board somewhere or something like that. So they're once again, if they get assaulted, then you're in a bit of trouble anyway. So probably look at some reconnaissance if you can. Reconnaissance is really good for taking like going to ground off people and stuff like that. Little scout platoon. They're well worth the points. I know you're really keen to get some armor in, and I went through this list. This is the list out of the bridge by bridge, and I'd be looking at the assault howitzer platoon or something like that. Now they've got a breakthrough gun. They've got some special rules that follow with them with shooting at tanks and stuff like that. But what the good thing about them is you can really dig out people from fortifications, so it gives you a little bit of flexible movability there, where you can zip around the field and you can use them for digging other troops out. So if you've got troops in buildings and stuff like that and you want to assault them, you can soften them up by using these, running these with your Fallschirmjäger platoons if you're the attacker and stuff like that. As for the defender, they're also good for zipping around the sides if you can try and get around the side without getting in too much trouble, and taking out gun positions and stuff like that. They're really good for that. They're a Stug, they're cheap, they've got decent armor, and the gun's a 10.5. It's got 2+ firepower, so you're going to dig stuff out, which is good. They don't have a huge range on the gun, but as I said, you're going to start digging stuff out, which is what you're really after there. So that's something I'd look at, is the assault howitzer platoon. If not, I would just go normal Panzer platoon, the Hermann Göring, which is here. I probably wouldn't take the Panzers. I would just go the Stugs. Stugs are good, man. Gives you that, and that'll just give you like your normal anti-tank 11 Stug. So that's a good little tank for other tanks. You can, that's also a very option. And for 160 points. It's excellent, but you just got to remember, man, they are confident trained, so they're going to get hit on. You're going to get a hit on a 3, so you really got to you got to be careful and confident. You're gonna stormtrooper and everything on a 4+. So your stormtroopers a powerful movement, but your 4+, which is 50% chance you're gonna actually stormtrooper, so you got to be a little bit more careful with them. You just can't throw them out there like you could say a fearless panther or fearless Stug or something like that, and you've got a 75% chance to pull the bastard back around the corner. So you just got to remember that you are confident and you are trained. That does, even if you take Vanderhyde, that still will, that motivation and skill that remains. You will that won't change. It's just that they'll come under the allied rules. So for motivational, say for motivation checks and stuff like that, you can use Vanderhyde's. You can join them and use his motivational and skill, which is good. If you're down, say you got 4 Stugs and you lose 3, you got 1 that's got to make a motivation. Vanderhyde could join him, theoretically speaking, and he's going to make it on a 2+, which is great. So they are a little bit more survivable in that way, but it is a risk. It is a little risky unit, so just for the confident train, but it's still a very good unit, man. Played right, it's still a really good unit. You're not going to just run it around a corner and start shooting stuff. You pick and choose when you're gonna shoot stuff. And as for the 121, the howitzers, which are also just Stugs, man, with the 10.5, which are here. It's 285 points for 3, but the good thing is they're confident vets, so you're getting hit on a 4+ in the open. So once you get your modifiers, like your range should be 5+, in cover would be 6+. They're starting to get really survivable, and you got that 10.5. As I said, you can sneak around and you can try and really good for taking out gun positions and people in buildings and dug in and going to ground troops and stuff like that. So that's what I would sort of be looking at. And then from there, if you got more points and stuff, like I say, I haven't done added all the points and everything, but if you've got more points, man, like look at adding more machine guns if you want, depending on how your style of play is. Maybe even like a pioneer platoon if you've got more for, pioneers can be good for fortifications if you're in a fortification. I hate fortifications anyway, but if someone's got some sort of barbed wire or something, at least you got something you can take care of them, can take care of it with. Um, Even for a bit of fun, man. I know you probably don't have the models, but the armored SS batteries, the Hummels are really cool. And even if you wanted some artillery, man, just your like your normal 10.5s over here, they're a lot of fun. They work well. They're cheap. Um, you could always throw them in as well. But and it's a good thing you went with the 8 centimeter mortars. I like using both of them. Like I like the heavy mortar platoon, but the thing is with the heavy mortar platoon, man, just remember you don't get smoke with the heavy mortar platoon. But the beauty about the heavy mortar platoon is they've got a 3+ firepower, so you're gonna dig shit out, which is really good, man. That's something that I like them for that you can dig crap out. So you're not rolling a 6+ or anything like that. You at least got a 75% chance to hurt some stuff if they're in the open and you've got recce on them or something like that. But as with the 8 centimeters, you got smoke, so that's a beauty. So just remember that the 12s don't have smoke, the eights do. And the other thing that the Stug howitzer is really good for, do not correct. Oh, well, correct me if I'm wrong. I'll just have a look now. It can actually single target smoke, which is really good. So if you've got, say, that stupid firefly in the corner, you can pop a smoke on him. So next round he's either got to move or shoot through concealment. So yeah, he's got smoke. So yep, that's the other thing. Those assault howitzer Stugs have got single fire smoke, which is really good. Um, on that note, guys, I hope that helps. I'm really sorry, GB, it's a little late. As I said, I've tried uploading this a few times. For some reason, it hasn't uploaded properly, but you're on the right track, man. It's a lot of fun watching all your Fallschirmjägers, and it's it's fun for me to when questions get asked like this. I really do enjoy giving my advice. So. But that's what I would do. That's when I play the Fallschirmjägers. That's sort of how I run the Fallschirmjägers. With that, man, you can go anywhere with them. Just muck around with them, have fun. Alright, guys, cheers.